One. So we are here with the lovely Melyssa Ford and the talented and accomplished director, producer, actor, Mr. J Kyle Manzay. How are you guys doing today?
Very good.
All right, so we are here today to talk about a new play, a new off-Broadway play that will be August 18th.
That's right, and August 18th through the 24th.
Through the 24th, that's going to be on stage, and that's called For Vixens Who've Considered Homicide When the Video Was Too Much. First question for you, sir. Give us a little backdrop on how you came about with that title.
I met Melyssa first and foremost after we did I had produced the hip hop monologues inside the Life of Mine of Jim Jones, and at one of the rap parties I met Melyssa Ford, who I had just saw in a documentary, kind of about the world of hip hop in videos, and I was like, oh, so I was a little starstruck. And so I had met her, and then we have two different versions of this story. This is my version. My version is this, that I came up to her, we started talking, and she raved about the show, and I admittedly, jokingly was thinking like, yo, we should do something about video girls. And then I thought like, wow, and then she responded so much that I really started like, wait a minute, that could work. And then we started to converse about it, and then we changed numbers, and I think about a couple of weeks later, I texted her this title because I was thinking about for Color Girls, and it came out of that title. That's where I know the title came from. I texted to her. She thought about it. I said, oh wow, I love it, and then it sort of was going birthed after that, and I kind of played it off some people who are both in the theater world and then and in the industry, and then they were kind of like, wow, it was very intriguing. And the challenge is being to make sure people know we're not taking ourselves too seriously.
Okay.
It's not as serious as the original title.
Yeah,
Okay.
people saw the title and they're like, don't you think that's a little insensitive? I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I just want people to understand that this is not what you think. This is a musical comedy. It's a parody. We're satirizing the. Is that a word? Did I just say that?
Satirizing.
Satirizing. Okay, it's just a different inflection. The video music industry that sometimes it's a very heavy topic to discuss because it's wrapped around so many issues, and one of the main issues being misogyny and the mistreatment of women, and disparaging of black women specifically. So we just really what we hope to accomplish is just to kind of make light of a very heavy subject. But my version of the story is I had come to New York. I'd been living in LA for about a year at this point, and I went to Jim Jones' play, and I thought that Jim Jones was very brave for doing something like that, because you think rapper, you think all tough and whatnot, and I just thought that to promote his album by way of creating a theatrical experience around it was just brilliant. And I thought that he was very brave to decide to do something like that, but I also had an inkling that that wasn't his idea, and I wanted to find out whose idea it was. So when at the rap party or whatever the case was, I went up to Jim. I was like, okay, first of all, awesome. Secondly, who the hell did this? Because I gotta talk to them. And so he introduced me to J Kyle, and I said I introduced who I was and how he would best probably know who I was. And I said, I have something to say about the video music industry, and I just think that you would be able to be that person to kind of create the experience that I kind of have in my mind. I mean, I could have written a book, I could have done that. But this is so much more fun. This is so much more interesting. And this is just a different way. It's a medium that not a lot of people really kind of consider, but it's an incredible medium. It's frightening. It's scary. It's scary, but it's raw and it's real, and you get to touch it and feel it. The experience is very, it's palpable, and so this has been a 5-year labor of love between the two of us.
Okay.
Late night phone calls, lunches, dinners, emails, just, it's been fantastic. He has translated a lot of my experiences, my personal, deepest, darkest thoughts into, scenes, and it's unbelievable. Every time I watch the actors act this out. I'm either laughing hysterically or I'm in tears because it's just so close and so personal to me. Very sensitive about my shit.
Okay, I hear you. I mean, and you mentioned
Yeah.
J. Kyle being able to bring that stuff to the forefront. How did your background, as far as film and acting, lend a hand to the creation of this play? As far as scenes, who you would decide to use for the narrator, for actors, and other things like that.
It played a big part in a lot of what I'm attracted to those things that sometimes either is foreign to me, distant from me, or has had a certain marginalization in the industry. And one of those is the hip hop and so in this instance, a lot of with video girls, nobody would expect me to be a part of that, and it's not necessarily bigging myself up, but I do come from a certain background where that's not the expectation. The expectation is Shakespeare or go to Hollywood and do these movies and this and this, and I've been very passionate about that as well. But I always I'm a maverick. I want to stay outside of those boxes, so nobody has the expectation to me be in the conversation with Melyssa Ford. Melyssa Ford, you play Melyssa Ford. And so
got some very interesting responses in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
And it made him want to do it even more.
Yeah, because I attract it's like, oh, you really don't want me to do it? Oh, I should do. I mean, it's very condescending things that was said about some of it. Makes me want to do it more. And some of my experiences, like, how do I make this story beautiful? How do I bring everything is worthy of art to me. Everything is worthy of being expressed via different mediums, and this medium is so unique in the way you can do it. And so, yes, I've seen a lot of plays, I've seen a lot of musicals, I've been in a lot of plays, I've been in a few musicals, and I brought a lot of those experiences. The narrator, a lot of musicals use that musicals and plays. Our Town, I had seen a very good production down off-Broadway of Our Town. I had seen Passing Strange. I didn't see Pippin, but I knew that they were doing it. And Cabaret and Chicago, all of them use some kind of convention of a narrator, a storyteller, some convention of somebody who's this is happening around. So basically, we went through our very organic way of developing this. This is our fourth incarnation of it. We did we did a mini workshop, and then we did a bigger stage reading, and now this is third time we've done it. And so I've always, we've grown. So the narrator became the last component once we had the central storyline. Basically talking to Melyssa, getting her perspective, where she's from, and then sort of being able to reinterpret it, make it bigger, make it more theatrical, then come back and say, I just basically ask her a poignant question, she goes off, and I'm typing, or I'm taking notes, I got tons and tons of notes, and then, we just basically conceive this world. This needs to happen, fighting about certain things, collaborating on other things.
Oh boy.
And then it's like, no, this doesn't need to be as
our arguments are so, I love the collaboration because we're both such passionate people. He's very passionate about his work and his extensive knowledge in the world of theater and directing and producing and acting, and I don't have that experience whatsoever. I've acted before, but it's film and television. Theater is another monster altogether, and his brilliance is kind of unbelievable. Do not let this get to your head. I'm just saying, this is the most complimentary. This is the most complimentary I've ever been towards him, because I gotta keep him in line and stuff. But I just love the way that he'll fight me on certain things, and then there's other things I'm like, no, you did not live it, you don't know it. This is what is accurate. This is what's true, and I just love how it has morphed into what it has become today, because as he said, it's gone through 3 different phases of growth, and it always stays true to what's relevant in pop culture right now. And there's been kind of like a serendipitous kind of feeling around the whole thing, because when he said, Melyssa, I want to kind of change the second act to involve reality TV, I was like, well, doggone it, aren't I on a reality show reality TV? And he didn't know. I'm like, I'm on reality TV right now. He was like, get out.
Yeah.
And he was, so it just kind of worked out that Yeah.
All right.
It
Well,
really worked
and
out.
Melyssa, you're a well-traveled public speaker.
Yes.
You're a successful real estate tycoon.
Yeah.
You
Well,
are
look, working
also
on the tycoon part. Yeah.
You're on your way.
Thank
You're on your
you.
way. The success
Thank you.
part has
Yes.
come already.
Yes.
And you also do have a background in acting.
Yes.
How has all those experiences, how do they differ from now working with stage and plays if you haven't done so in the past?
I've done some very little theater work. I've done one, maybe two plays, and I can honestly say that I have a tremendous amount of respect for, you know, theatrical actors, you know, stage actors, just because it's such a personal experience. It's so scary. You know that these rehearsals are eventually going to culminate in performances with people in the audience staring at you with, you know, expectations, or maybe none, or whatever the case is. You have your own set of expectations, and there's things that are out of your control. It's just, and I'm such a control freak that in all my other facets of life, like real estate, I can control things like that, you know. But the only thing that I can control is just the performance that I give, and the butterflies in my stomach, the anxiety inside my brain, the level of exhaustion from all of the rehearsal. I mean, the only thing that I can say is that it's less about me, and it's more about J Kyle, because of all the work that he's put in, the years that he's put in, the dedication that he's put in, and then my fellow actors and actresses. They are just unbelievable. They put me to shame. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
They are amazing. They are amazing. He did an incredible job casting this play, and you know, a friend of mine was just like, "You should have used all the video girls from the past." I was like, "Well, why would I do something like that? I can't guarantee what they can do on the stage. I can guarantee what these girls can do on the stage. They are extremely beautiful." They all could have been casted in videos, but they had a different path, and they are stage actors and actresses.
Okay, and you speak about the video vixens. What is your view on the term video vixen? I know that's something that was coined by the media back when you were doing music videos early in your career. What are your thoughts on that term? Do you feel that it is a negative term towards the, you know, aspiring actress who is just trying to add roles to her resume?
I think that the way that, I do think that there's a negative connotation placed on the phrase video vixen. I think that it's hugely stigmatized and marginalized. I absolutely do. Is there anything wrong with having participated in music videos? No, there's nothing. And if anybody wanted to go back and chart, you know, my performances in music videos, they would actually be very shocked to see I really didn't do much except stand still or maybe walk across the screen. I wasn't in anything, you know, ridiculously provocative. I didn't do anything unbelievably. I wouldn't even kiss the, you know, the artist that I was, you know, playing against. And I'm talking like Usher, Jay-Z, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with these guys, but it's just, I'm like, this is a 3-minute video. I'm not compromising who I am, like morals, values, whatever the case is. And so it's just, you can only control your behavior and what you do. And I just think that, you know, with every situation, you know, you get defined by the bad behavior of others. You can apply that to football players. I know a bunch of football players who are highly intelligent, who stay out of trouble, who are contributing members of society, philanthropists, whatever. And then the media will blow up all the bad behavior of the troublemakers. The same could be said for the police right now, just, you know, with the temperature that everything that's happening, hashtag Ferguson, et cetera, et cetera. You can only control who you are and what you do. That's the only thing. So the video vixen label, it is a little frustrating just because I feel like I've done so much since my time in music videos. But you know, I wear it with pride, and that's why we've decided to do this production.
All right. One question for you before we get out of here, J Kyle, and I have one last question for you. What do you want your audience to get away from what they see on stage starting August 18th when they do come out to see this play?
That I think that, I mean, I could just tell you about the thoughts that go through my mind when doing something like this. Is that you, much like Melyssa was saying, that you have to be careful, you know, marginalizing based upon generalizations. So yeah, generalizations. And so I want people to know, like, there is that at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all driven by these same things, trying to want to get the best out of life. We have dreams, we have aspiration. That's more so what the play is about. The play is more Alice in Wonderland. It's more The Wiz. Girl goes on a journey. She's in search for adventure. Has these internal needs and how they meet up with her external wants. Yeah, you may want to be a star, but what you need is to, realize your inner beauty, and inner integrity. So there's this, and at some point in the play, the want to be a star and the need hits each other and they collide, and then you have to make a decision as to what you do. So it ends up being about that choice. That's a choice that anybody can relate to, whether you want to be a banker or whether you want to go to school or you want to be an athlete, whatever it is you want to do in life. What you want and what you need are going to collide. You know what I mean? And so you may want all this money, but what you need is actually to give back. So that's what the play. I want people to get that out of play. Get that sense of that this is bigger than that, and then also it brings a certain integrity and hopefully commonality that I don't have the right to judge a group of people because they're much more like me than I may give them credit for.
All right, so I definitely want to thank both of you guys today for the time. Before we get out of here, we can start with you, Melyssa. Just let everybody know where they can go online, social media, website, where they can find out more information about you as well as the play.
Okay. Well, you can go on to smarttix.com, SMARTTIX.com, and you can place your order there for tickets. Or you can call 212-868-4444. And what's the website where everything is?
The Vixenproject.com.
Okay.
Vixenproject.com is where you can find out all the information, bios, headshots on the actors and actresses who you're going to see on stage, and basically just, a synopsis of the theatrical experience. And yeah, that's where you get the backstory. Lots of, behind the scenes pictures and video footage. And I just hope that everybody comes out and sees it, because it's a very enjoyable experience. You will laugh, and you will laugh and you'll enjoy it.
It's a very entertaining show. It's wild.
Okay.
Come see it.
All right. So once again, for Vixen, who've considered Homicide when the video was too much, I wish I could have memorized that and give a smooth delivery. Opening August 18th,
Yes.
New York City. Make sure that you go online, get those tickets, come out and support these two very talented individuals. Ronald Blake with the A.A.V.E.